Alright, so today we're going to be doing an intake on Tito's 370Z. I'm not too familiar at all with these cars, but this is what we've got. Tito's digging into our boxes right now.
So this is the C1 Motorsport Longtube intake kit. They had it on the website for $448. Been meaning to get it for a while. It's a pretty good deal for what it says it does. Goes the aluminum piping.
Ooh.
Nice and new.
Everybody knows that adding shiny stuff adds horsepower.
Oh, yeah.
This is everything that comes in our kit. All new, is it stainless or is it aluminum?
Aluminum.
Aluminum intake piping. We've got all our new hump hoses. Ooh, crank ventilation stuff. Air filters. And the most important part,
Hardware.
Z-clamps. Not just regular clamps, but Z-clamps. Make sure they're 370Z specific from what I understand.
You got one big major screw here. That's it. You might have some plastic covering it, but since I'm lowered and my wheels decided to eat up that plastic, it is free for me to just get to it. I think it should be a 10mm, or you can get it with the Phillips. Yeah. So, you still rolling? So I got an aluminum, or whatever, got a skid plate in the bottom, and that screwed up to the bumper. So if you have one, you have to take those off too. If you don't, it might just be clips or not. There you go.
There it goes. And then just turn this one. Oh, fog lights. Where did they just came from? Up front. So is this more 10mm?
Yeah, 10mm or a Phillips.
Everything on this car is 10mm, except for the oil cap,
The
drain
pan bolt.
plug.
It's probably like
That's
14.
If you want to grab some baggies, put a Sharpie on it, write it down, see what it was. But other than that, all the bolts seem to line up.
If you've done stuff like this before, then you kind of know as you're taking off what's going back where. If not, keep everything nice, neat, and organized. It'll save you from when the experienced guys go, what the hell did this bolt come from? Because we just throw them in a bucket.
You're not unplugging it, so it won't mess up your reading.
Yeah,
either way, the computer senses it automatically, so there is going to be some changes, some idle changes. But
I say I'm sure the first start up your car is going to freak out.
Yeah.
Just like every other car would.
Oh my god, I can breathe.
So, like he was saying, we're pulling out the entire assembly, all as a whole. So this whole unit is going to get stuffed in our new piping. Actually, you can even look at it right here. So we took this front cover off here to better get these crank breather hoses off.
It's just two 10mm.
And it just pops right off.
Just to get to this screw right here for this breather hose.
Also, when you're pulling out your factory airboxes, they've got these two little nipples here on the bottom of them, here and here. Those kind of sit down pretty snug, right down into here and here. You have to give them a little bit of pressure up. Don't be scared. Your intake's coming out anyway.
This is what comes out of here.
And then your whole chunk comes out that side. And I guess I could work on my side now.
Okay, so here's all our air boxes pulled out. Just to recap, it's just one retaining bolt right there that pops out. You take off your clamp from right here, you unscrew it, which is just a flat, or maybe like an 8mm.
Yes, it was an 8.
Take them apart, pop it off. Same from over here, from the intake. You unscrew it, pop that off. There's some hoses too that we took off. Those are provided also by C1, so you do have to take them off. Goes directly into the engine. You see the little, you see them right there, both sides. And should take care of that. There was this funny little plastic piece right here that went into the intake to the wall. I'm removing it so that there's less, just less stuff you have to go through with your silicone hoses. So it's just a 10mm black screw on the wall back over here, and it pops right off.
Sweet.
Both sides, through both sides, and you should be clear now to start putting in your new stuff.
So now we're pretty much wide open on both sides to actually work on this thing. Same thing over here.
The cool thing about this C1 Motorsport kit, you do not have to do any modifications, any cutting to the radiator wall. So it should fit right in. They say that specifically on their website. So that's the cool thing about that one.
Alright, so let's start putting shit together.
Yep.
We're gonna wipe out these hump hoses, and we're actually gonna use alcohol to do it, because alcohol is fast drying, and if worse comes to worse and your engine sucks alcohol into it, it will burn. So, like, no harm, no foul, yeah. But as you can see, these hump hoses that are provided, I'm sure have sat on a shelf for some time, and I don't know if it's a very clean view or not, but you can tell that they're kind of not bad. They just got some fuzzies in them that we're going to try and clean out. And so we're over here wiping it out. Beautiful.
So, one thing, they didn't provide, C1 Motorsports didn't provide this because they said to use the OEM ones. So take these out of the old hoses. Here's a breather hose that went into the engine. And just slide them into your new ones.
I'm going to get demonetized because we're listening to the Vampire Weekend out here.
Right.
You can't cover up the Z1. If you cover up Z1, you lose horsepower from the kit.
Yes. Always got to be showing your Z1.
Fun fact, that's why we also made sure that both hoses have Z1 on them showing.
Just like that. It's ready to go on. Pretty sure it's going to be going like this.
Yeah, it's going to go straight up. Should be straight up
to
and over.
explain in the instructions, there's a passenger side and a driver side. So just make sure to...
And they just slide right on in. That factory nipple, just like that. Done. Once I get this bottom one good and on here, I'm going to fold this back just a little bit so I can connect our pipe to it, and then it should lay on. Just make sure you get this bottom one clamped where you want it beforehand, because you probably won't have access to it very well once this pipe goes in.
So the airflow sensors are going to go towards the bottom. So I'm thinking I'm going to put it in first. They should match up, so there's no wrong way to do it. That matches up. If you turn them the other way, it doesn't match up. So you can't go wrong.
Yep. Alright, so getting the two longer hoses that come back up to the front, this one and then this one he's got over here, that's kind of the hardest part. And it's just, it takes a lot of, it really wasn't hard. It's just a lot of wiggling it back and forth, getting enough room up here, but you still want to leave some clearance down here because you've got an entire air filter that's going to be curled up front here. So it's kind of a tight squeeze. It's really not too bad though. It's just kind of plan it out a little bit as you're going. Figure out how to route your hoses just right. Don't be afraid to take your time and tinker with it so you can get everything how you want it. But the rest is pretty easy. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and clear everything that we had loose part-wise out of the way. And we're going to go ahead and fire it up. Typically, when stuff like this happens, you know, you want to start your car up because obviously any little changes, even like this, your computer's going to kind of freak out at first because it's probably going to get significantly more air than it was. So when you start it up and let it just kind of idle, it's going to probably sound wonky, and eventually it'll figure it out. Your car is a computer. It's meant, that's what these sensors are for, it's meant to change to adjustments in air temperature and pressure and all the little crap. So go ahead and crank it up. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like freaked out and shut off immediately, because I know my truck did when we did it. You can definitely. Alright, so on the first one, a cop kind of was pulling down the street. I don't know if y'all heard in the video of me kind of just going cop, 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 cop. But he was cool. He just kind of waved us on. He knew what the deal was. How'd that car get stuck in the... What?
Is it in there?
Yeah, it's like in the field. What the hell? Alright, so I don't know how that happens, but I don't know if somebody just got drunk or...
Some Jeep trying to go muddy.
That Jeep tried to go off-roading and got stuck immediately. That's embarrassing.
Take a Jeep Liberty at that. Do like regular driving.
Just regular cruise.
So what I noticed is a deeper tone to the engine. Not very much exhaust noise. But the throttle response is much better. Like right when you step on it, it goes. There's not that lag. Alright, this is a reaction video. He hasn't driven a manual since what?
The last time I drove a manual, I was in... I don't know, like it's seriously been forever. The last time I drove one, I was actually it was a forklift. It was a standard forklift. It was like a 2-speed. So I mean, I'm gonna let this truck go by before I...
There was a third pedal, you know?
Oh, you left the parking brake on,
left
man.
the parking brake on? Haven't installed yet.
Not yet. Oh wow, I just went straight to 5, okay.
Oh, you skipped third?
Yeah. Oops. Let's kind of ease off the clutch a little bit. There we go.
Nice.
Where's 2 at? Alright, I'm gonna hand it back over to Tito now.
Sure, just taking it home if you want.
You want me to?
You want to get more clips? I think we're done.
That's pretty much it. We're good.